internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now, introducing your host with a combined weight of none of your business, it's Metal Geek and Joe Panther III, the Dudes at Ringside podcast.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am your host, Joe the Panther III, and now introducing to the mic my awesome co-host for the trip around the world through the solar system on top of Candy Mountain, back through the woods, and staring at all those creepy dolls. We're going to see it next Friday. The Happy Heel himself. Hide your children, hide your wife. It's the Happy Heel, the Metal Geek.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, Joe? How's it going, buddy? How's it going?
I always say that our show makes history, but fans, Sam, everybody in the chats, on Twitter.
Joe.
What?
You want to say
yeah. Today, everybody, we would like to pay tribute to our fallen wrestler. Today, we lost a member of the wrestling community. We lost Daphne from WCW and Impact. Let's have a moment of silence for Daphne. Thank you. Now, I always say we make history, but today we are making history with the very first person that we've ever interviewed on Dudes at Ringside podcast from Portugal. This woman is a rising star out of Portugal in the independent scene. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome to the raging Claudia Bradstone.
What's up? What's up, guys? What's up, Joe? What's up, Metal Geek?
What's going on?
Welcome. So, if our fans are not familiar with you, introduce yourself.
So, my name is Claudia Bradstone, raging Claudia Bradstone, and I'm a independent wrestler from Portugal, from Lisbon, Portugal. That's basically it.
And you're making awesome history on Dudes at Ringside. You're the first ever wrestler from Portugal. That's
right. That's what I hear. I'm the first Portuguese wrestler in your podcast.
Yes, it warms up my heart when I hear that, because that is so cool to have somebody from Portugal at this. It's 6:20 here in America. It's like 11 o'clock. So it's kind of like, oh boy. Wow.
We thank you, Tim, for taking the time out of your day to come on the podcast.
Thank you so much for taking your time out of your day to come hang out with these random wrestling fans in America.
Especially at 11 o'clock.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem.
Thank you for having me.
Who trained you?
Well, I was trained by a Portuguese wrestler named Red Eagle. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. If you haven't, go check him out, because he's actually a pretty awesome wrestler. And he's out there. He's been wrestling a little bit everywhere. So he's pretty world traveled. Yeah.
Geek, we're gonna have to check this guy out. He sounds awesome.
Definitely.
You're putting him over right now. So in America. So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely deserves it. He not only works very hard here in Portugal, but he's also like very talented and probably the hardest working man I've seen in wrestling. I have to say so. Wow. I may be a little biased. If you think, but that's just my opinion. So he's actually wrestled in your country already.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Was it in the Indies or was it in the professional? Was it the Indies? Which one was it? Like, was he in the Indies?
He's wrestled for Chikara,
Oh, wow.
and he's wrestled in another I can't remember the names. Like I think I'm not really sure. Beyond Wrestling, maybe. I'm not really sure, but I think it was Beyond Wrestling and a couple of more federations in US.
Yeah, we have to look those up now. You know.
Now we're gonna have to you should tell him about us. Tell him. Did you tell him you were coming on the podcast in America today?
Yeah, I did.
Cool.
I did. He'll probably
So
check on later.
Yeah.
He sleeps. He likes to go to sleep early, so it's 11 p.m. right now. 11:23 right now. So I'm not sure if he's watching right now, but he'll check on later. I'm pretty sure about that.
Yeah, it'll be on YouTube tomorrow, and it'll be on Spotify tomorrow as well. So you know, you can also check it out on those as well. But right now we're live on Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. So
the fun place. The fun place to be on the internet, on Twitter. Here we go. Let's
I
start.
don't get Twitter, actually.
Oh,
what's up?
I don't know how to work with Twitter. I have a Twitter account, but I've never really figured it out. Like I don't know how to work with it.
It's like for us, it's like YouTube is the problem with us. It's like you know, Twitter, Facebook, it all works fine with us, and then YouTube, it's like, what's going on here, guy? What's going on?
Yeah, it's like Twitter. We thought Twitter would have been the problem. Flies at ringside. There's a fly live on TV. See, somebody's like, I want to be a celebrity. A fly of Portugal wants to be famous in America. I'm here. So, geek questions.
Yeah, that's what they're here for, right?
Yeah.
What is your ultimate dream match?
My ultimate dream match? Is that what you asked?
Yeah. You could do mainstream, and you could do something that somebody you know.
Oh, man, that's so hard to answer because I mean, I admire so many people, and so many people are already like retired and everything. So, but yeah, like I would love to wrestle Jazz.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
she is like one of a kind. I grew up watching her. And I have like the utmost respect for her. Like I would love to do that. Victoria, like pretty much all the girls that were there like in the Attitude Era, pretty much. I would say any of them. Like Victoria, Jazz, Molly Holly, Lita, obviously, like man, my favorite wrestler, Lita, obviously. So I would definitely love to have a match with each, or maybe be in a fatal 4-way, something like that. Yeah, pretty much.
Or close by, right? Say, I wrestled them. I'm good, right?
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to watch the NWA pay-per-view for the what's it called? I keep saying the name wrong.
Empower.
The Power one. Have you watched that one yet?
I started watching, but I only watched a little bit of the first match because my life is a little like busy right now, and I just got my COVID shot yesterday, so I'm not feeling so well right now. Like I'm getting like a few symptoms, but not anything serious. Like it's just some ache like on my body and some fever, but not anything like serious. So I haven't been on in a mood to do a lot like since yesterday, and I started watching it yesterday and I didn't finish, so I can't really speak on it.
Yeah, we actually had one of the women that was in the pay-per-view that was in, I think she was in the Battle Royal, right, Geek? We had Slamovich.
Yeah, Slamovich was a part of it.
Oh, yeah.
Masha. I always say her name wrong. I'm gonna get
Masha. It's Masha.
I'm gonna get. She's gonna give me a nasty chop to the chest. So, what would you say like is legitimate fighting style? What would you say?
Sorry, I didn't understand. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. What would you say like your fighting style is in wrestling? Like most people have like submission, cruiserweight. Like what would you say yours is?
Oh, I would say I usually go for a lot of submissions. So I'm like very traditional. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't do really any crazy high flying. I've tried to, but like that's not I'm not a natural, you know. Because yeah, Lita was my favorite, as I said, and once I started training, I was like, I want to be a high flyer. But then yeah, I'm not a natural, so I had to find my own thing in wrestling. So yeah, I'm pretty traditional, and maybe yeah, I like to go for submissions, I would say, and suplexes. So I'm grounded. Is that how you say it? Maybe grounded, like on the floor very much, you know.
Think that's what they say. I'm not too sure. It's difficult when I'm just a fan, and I'm.
We're both just fans right now, so right.
We're all fans. That's what I say. We may be doing the podcast, but we're fans. Even the ones that do the wrestling, they see a wrestler that they loved as a child, and they turn into the fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Claudia? Like you may have been wrestled in a match, your first match in America, and then Jazz walks by, and you're like, "Oh my god, it's Jazz!" Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like everybody
You're
turns
starstruck.
into a fan.
Yeah, it's like, okay, what do I do now? I don't want to say the wrong thing now. It's like, oh great. It's like, oh great. Okay, we're good.
Here we go, geek. Next question.
Next question. So I know this is a little random question, but what's your favorite movies that you enjoy?
My favorite movies? Sorry,
Yeah.
like the volume is very low. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Okay. So is that what you asked? My favorite movies?
Yeah.
Yes.
Favorite movies, yeah, that you enjoy.
Like type of movie or
Yeah.
specific?
Specific movie.
Yeah, I think that's what he meant. Like favorite movies, like favorite style.
I love gangsta movies, like crime movie series. It depends really on my mood. I also love comedy movies, but growing up, like I had this like Dangerous Minds. I'm not sure if you've ever watched Dangerous Minds with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is probably my favorite movie of all time. Yeah, I would say it's got a bit of everything, you know, like drama, crime, you know, all of that.
Yeah, my favorite movie was The Fifth Element, and we all right.
Yeah, Fifth Element.
You ever heard of that movie or The Fifth Element?
I think I've never seen The Fifth Element. No.
It's Bruce Willis, Mila Jovovich, Chris Tucker's in it.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I've never seen it, but I really want to watch that one. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I love sci-fi movies.
Oh, she got mad at you. You did it. You guest went away.
Yeah.
You scared the guest away.
Moment of silence.
You scared the guest away.
But yeah. So favorite movie was probably The Fifth Element. You know, Chris Tucker, Bruce Willis, Gary Oldman. Yeah, you're back.
I thought she like.
She didn't like the movie I picked, so I was like,
that's it. I'm out of here. I'm a Ghostbusters fan. I'm a real nerd. I'm a Ghostbusters fan, and also I like yeah. Oh yeah, there's our friend from our college friend Max. He's a friend of ours.
You're talking about Ghostbusters. Let's go. Come on.
Yes. Whatever, man. Ghostbusters is cool. Here we go. What is your favorite food?
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, let it clear. Can you hear us?
Yeah. I was just not sure. My favorite food. That's a great question. I don't know. I have no idea. Like I have no idea. Like what my favorite food is. I don't know. What's my favorite food? How do I explain that? How do you say caril? I'm trying to figure out what my favorite food is. Like
pizza?
Not really. I love seafood. So
seafood's cool.
yeah, let me go with that. I love it. Yeah. So, I'll go with that. Yeah. Anything that's got shrimp. What's that?
Oh, you would
shrimp with curry. That's something we do here in Portugal. So
yeah.
I would have to stick to the other side of the fish. I can't have shellfish. I break out knives. I'll be yeah. I used to be able to eat shrimp when I was in college and eat New England clam chowder. And then one day I just went to a party with my school and I ate some shrimp, got back to the dorm, and I looked like I got punched by Mike Tyson. My eyes were puffy. It was horrible. Yeah, it was horrible. Man.
Yeah.
Oh, it was bad.
What about you, Metal Geek?
Oh, I love pasta and burgers. Two of my favorite foods right there. Not together, but like Stevie Ray would have said. But I love any type of pasta. I like penne alla vodka, baked ziti, fettuccine alfredo, and hamburgers are great. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And my Puerto Rican side is instantly raising its hand. We my house, we either have rice and beans, the yellow rice with the brown beans, or white rice with beans, or we'll have like we had last night for dinner. We had pasteles, which is delicious. And it's Puerto Rican culture. That's like a banana leaf wrapped up with, I think, pork, or you can make it with chicken too. You make it like a Christmas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a Puerto Rican like delicacy they make around Christmas time. It's like wrapped in a banana leaf. You can look up online. You may be able to find a recipe for pasteles and be able to make it over by you. If you make it, send me a picture. I want to see how you guys make pasteles.
I'm curious now. All right.
Yeah, the challenge is out there.
So
pasteles are delicious.
So today was a sad day in wrestling.
Yeah. So what are your biggest memories from Tiffany? Not Tiffany. I mean, of her.
Daphne.
Daphne.
Of Daphne. What are your biggest memories from Daphne?
So I started like I think the first time I saw her was a friend of mine sent me a WCW show, and she was wrestling, or she was like in the ring with Stacy Keibler. So that's my first memory. But usually when I think of Daphne, I think of her run in on TNA. So her feud with the Beautiful People, you know, her match, like she had this match, it was a tag match. I don't remember what it was called, but her and Abyss, I think, against I think it was Taylor Wilde and some other wrestler that I don't remember who it was. But they had this brutal match that she was like choke slammed through a table with like barbed wire. Man, that's like, when I think of Daphne, I think of that fucking bump. Like, you know, like that was brutal. That was brutal.
Would you ever take a bump like that?
What's that? Sorry?
Oh, sorry. Would you ever take a bump like that in wrestling? If like one of the people in your show would say, "Hey,"
I mean, if there's a reason behind it.
Yeah, because in wrestling they take. I give you guys all the credit in the world because you guys take like the craziest bumps and stuff like that in the ring, and we're just fans. But me and Geek, give you guys all the credit in the world, because I know the next day you guys feel like someone like literally threw you through a buzzsaw because you probably are so hurt and tired, and like you're doing it all for our claps and our cheers, but you know you do it for yourself, but you're like, yeah, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, one of your friends in the chat.
Oh yeah. I see it. Yeah, I see it.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome.
How do you pronounce the name? It's Mortales.
Mortalised.
Mortales.
There we go.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, did you get the ever chance to meet Daphne or?
No, unfortunately I didn't. No, we never crossed paths.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. This is gonna be a first here on Dudes at Ringside. We're gonna do like an interpretation of how would you say a word in English, and how would you say a word in Portuguese. So, Geek, you go first.
All right, we're going to start with something simple. Metal Geek.
Metal Geek. How do you translate geek? Geek. We usually say geek. Also, like we just steal words from the English language a lot of times. Like, you know, so geek. I'm not really sure how to say geek in Portuguese. Like, yeah, I don't know.
So it's pretty much the same
But
as
yeah, like in Portuguese, it would be like geek do metal. That's how we would say it, because we usually say geek as well. So geek do metal.
Geek do metal. Huh.
How would you say restaurant in Portuguese?
You just add an e to the end of the word. We say restaurant. It's, you know, written in the same way, just add an e. Restaurant.
Geek.
How would you say AEW in Portuguese? Or All Elite Wrestling?
AEW.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to think what else.
What are your dream places to go that you want to wrestle in?
For wrestling. So your country will be like, yeah, either for, you know, vacation or wrestling wise, it would be your country. Like number one, definitely. Like I want to go to the US so bad for so many years. Japan, of course. Like I think that's
everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
Japan?
Yeah. It's like every one of the wrestlers we've had so far, I want to go to Japan. I want to go to all the female wrestlers we've interviewed. They all want to come to go to Japan. Like, I want to go to Japan. I want to go to Japan.
I want to go to Japan too because they're like the wrestling capital right there. So.
Yeah. Well, there is a good indie promotion.
So much going on.
Yeah. There's a really good indie promotion. If whenever you come to America, definitely look up Victory Pro Wrestling. It's in Long Island. It's a very good promotion, and they have a lot of cool characters and a lot of like very good characters there. And a lot of like the crowd gets really into their matches. So you remember Victory Pro Wrestling. It's a good promotion on Long Island.
Or VPW is another one.
DPW, that's what they're like abbreviated as, but they're a good promotion on Long Island.
I think Mortals has something he wants to say, but I can't really pronounce it.
Toda Elite Luta Livre. It's basically translating all elite wrestling. Like
there we go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mattel.
Thank you.
So do you usually go and watch independent wrestling shows or what?
Yeah, we We love independent wrestling shows.
That's our thing. Like that's the other reason why I'm Geek and I started this podcast, because we started doing it just to do Raws and SmackDown reviews and stuff like that, and then I got bored doing that. It's like Geek. Oh, his real name's Lance. We should try to reach out to wrestlers, see if they get back to us. And they started getting back to us. And I had a friend that's a wrestler. He's retired now. And he came on the podcast. And my friend that does a podcast too started coming on. He was on my first episode, Jay Beans. Thanks again for doing the show with us last night. And then I don't know how I got in touch with your Instagram, but I somehow saw yours. And I was like, let me just send her the spiel. And then you responded. And I was like, oh my God. Portugal, yes! I was so excited. I can't explain. Oh, here we go. We got a question from our friend Max on the screen. Geek in 2K.
Yeah, a couple.
Favorite wrestler growing up and favorite tag team growing up, and wow, you have quite a few in the same question, Max. Come on. I don't think she read it. You went too quick.
His favorite tag team, favorite single.
Oh, you got it?
My favorite tag team?
Yeah.
Is that it?
From the past. Favorite tag team from the past. And then the favorite one currently, and then and the favorite singles.
I would say the Hardy Boys.
Hardy Boys are the best.
Hardy Boys, yeah.
And then currently.
They were so cool. They were so cool. They were.
I don't know. One kid that didn't do the hand.
They made me want to do this, really.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So, and then your favorite currently, he was asking.
Currently.
Mm-hmm.
Good question. I don't watch a lot. Like, I have to be honest. I don't watch a lot of wrestling, like current wrestling. I watch a lot of like the same wrestling. I love watching like old wrestling from the 90s especially, and like a few wrestlers that I really respect. So it's like it's hard to just think of one right now, because I can't think of one right now. I can't even think of one. No.
Do you have a favorite single?
It's not that currently? I don't admire what's going on today. It's just I don't watch it enough to know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, completely. We understand. Yeah, like Geek and I. Geek got me into the promotion Ring of Honor when we were in college. Like, I met Geek doing radio, and he's like, "Hey, have you ever heard of Ring of Honor?" And I was like, "No, what the hell's Ring of Honor? It's like some kind of sword Knights of the Round Table crap." And he's like, "No, it's independent wrestling." And I'm like, "I have a bunch of tapes in my room. I'll show you." And I'm like, "I'm not watching porn with my friend. That's weird." And he's like, "No, it's wrestling." So we started watching. He showed me all his ROH tapes. Dude, I got hooked. I got hooked watching Ring of Honor. Like they're awesome. Like Ring of Honor is like so cool. Mm-hmm. Like, have you ever watched Ring of Honor yet?
I've never really watched it. Like, I've watched like a few matches, but like when I was just a fan, I would watch TNA and WWE. Like, that was it. That was it for me, because I didn't really know like what else was available. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
I knew WWE from TV, and I knew TNA, through TV, I think, or maybe some friends. I'm not really sure how I got to know about TNA, but that's all that I used to watch. And then I started training, and then when you start training, it just I don't know, you just see things differently, and for me, I always watch like the same wrestlers. I try to like obviously find different stuff, like for like my study, you know, pretty much. And yeah, I just started seeing things differently. I don't watch a lot of the current stuff, and ROH has never like been like, I've obviously heard a lot of great stuff about ROH, but I'm not the right person to talk about it because I've never watched it enough.
Yeah.
It was hard to get in the beginning because you had to go to the shows and
Yeah.
you had to get the DVDs from the vendor, and sometimes I think they had an online thing, but I don't know if they shipped it out internationally, so they were very hard to get back then, and they're still hard to get. Like, people are charging almost like $100 for certain Ring of Honor tapes because they're out of print.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
it's like, wow,
That's
you know.
crazy.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
really
You go on eBay and look up like old Ring of Honor DVDs. Some people are charging 60, 40, 50 because they don't make the DVDs no more. And I'm like, wow, these guys are making a business right now.
That's ridiculous.
I get it. Yeah.
Do you guys get I guess I don't know if you still get the WWE Network in Portugal, or do they have Peacock?
I think it's Peacock, yeah. I'm
It's
not really
Peacock?
sure. I don't have an account, so but yeah, from what I've heard, I think it's Peacock, yeah, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we here got another question for our buddy Mad Max over here. Do you collect? Here you go. Do you collect pops or any wrestling action figures?
Oh, I used to collect action figures back in the day. I have like, I don't have a lot of them. I have around like 10, like like 10, 12, around that. Yeah, I still have them in a box. I don't collect them anymore, but yeah. Like, it was really hard to find them here in Portugal. You have to think like, yeah, I'm from Portugal. So things are more limited here. So but I was a hardcore fan, and every time I would see like magazines or action figures, I would buy everything, like make my dad buy me those things at the time. So
yeah.
Are things opening up in Portugal, like wrestling shows or movies, anything?
Sorry, I didn't hear.
Or like is stuff opening up in Portugal, or is it everything still closed down in Portugal?
Oh, things are going back to normal now. Yeah, everything is yeah. Like, wrestling shows are not like running right now, but hopefully very soon. I think that's the next step.
Yeah, I hope so. You know, we just had wrestling shows. Well, in New York, we haven't had. Every other state has had wrestling shows, but in New York, it's been closed down. So me and Joe went to like the first show in New York when they opened up on July 17th. We went to
it was funny, Claudia, because we were supposed to just go to one show at night. We're the dudes at Ringside Podcast. We have to go to both shows in one day. We went to 2 shows. You're gonna think we're insane. The one show we went to, we really weren't supposed to go there, but we said, we'll go. Let's see if they'll listen. So we went in, bought our tickets. The guy was like, you come with us. And we're like, uh-oh. Because we had to message wrestlers to get on our show.
Yeah.
We're like, just no funny business. Go sit down. Give us your money. We sat down. We sat ringside, of course. It was an outdoor show. It was about 100 degrees. That's leading into my question. Do you prefer outdoor shows, to work outdoor shows, or indoor shows?
Indoor. Definitely. 100% indoor. I mean, outdoor shows, it's like I've wrestled a few on A lot. I've wrestled in a lot of outdoor shows, and it's just you never know what's gonna happen. And sometimes it gets really hot here in Portugal, so it's like 40 degrees outside, and you're wrestling. So that's like the hardest thing you can do. So yeah, indoor, all the way. Yeah.
Is there any spot you refuse to take?
What's that? Sorry.
Is there a spot you refuse to take in a match, like a Canadian destroyer or anything, or that you say no, guys, that not today, right?
I don't think she get what you meant, Mitch.
I didn't get the. Yeah, I didn't get the.
Oh, like you know how you have a wrestling move, right? And you do a wrestling move, and like the girl's gonna say, okay, I'm gonna give you a Canadian destroyer, right? Is there ever a time that you didn't want to take it, or some spot, and it could be anything, like a tombstone or anything?
I mean, it has to do with like what we want to portray, like that day. I mean, if it makes sense, it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a very difficult question to answer. But it all has to make sense in the end. That's
I get what you're saying, because it's like certain certain moves wrestlers won't do. Like you said, the table spot that Daphne did in that one match that you were talking about. There's a lot of wrestlers that would not go for a table spot with barbed wire on it. But there's some wrestlers who be like, I gotta take the match, I'll do it. You know what I mean? Like, would you go for, like, if a guy that was doing a show came up to you and said, okay, your match is gonna be a TLC match tonight, and you're gonna take the big pop, the big table spot, would you do it? Or like, can't do it?
Yeah, like that's it. Like, if there's a good, like, how do I say this? Like, if there's like
good story,
if there's a purpose, then it's a done deal. Like, like, I have no problem. Like, I've been doing this for quite a while now. Like, I'm prepared. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't been afraid of like many things, I'd say. Obviously it has to make sense. That's what I always say. Like, I'm not gonna do stuff that just don't, that just because, you know what I'm saying? Like, it has to make sense. But I'm prepared for a lot of stuff. Yeah, probably you would be shocked for the things that I'm prepared for.
That's cool. That some wrestlers are just like, oh my god, I can't take that. And you're like, some wrestlers are just like, don't worry about it, I'll do it.
I got it. Oh, I got it.
I got it. Here, Geek, you asked your question, then I have a interesting question into the last one question I had. So you're next, Geeky.
All right. So, do you have any stories from the ring that you like to tell, or like any road stories or anything?
I'm sorry, like, your audio, I don't know, like, my phone maybe, I don't know what's going on, but I can't listen to what you're saying.
Oh no, he asked if you have any stories from the ring.
Like training or
stories?
Like stories like from training or like stuff like that.
Oh yeah, of course. Of course. I don't know what should I share. Like, in the last couple of years, before COVID, of course. So yeah, we had this year that didn't really happen, but the years before, we had this guy. He's no longer with us. Actually, he's passed away. But he's like, I'm not sure. He was like a big fan of mine. And he would drink a little bit. So he would show up to like every show, every CTW show. And I would wrestle like, all of these different wrestlers. And what happened most of the times is he would try to get in the ring when I was wrestling, or try to grab like the rest I was, facing that night. It was getting a little crazy. It was like sometimes it was funny because he didn't really get to do anything, but it was like, I don't know, he was very intense. But there was this, like, it got to a point where we had to just ban him from the shows until he stopped drinking, and then he came back eventually for a few. He was not drinking, so he behaved. But yeah, that happened. For like I don't know, a year or two. I'm not really sure, but yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy to me, at least. That someone was trying to get in the ring when I was wrestling.
That's crazy.
Like, to try and help me win. Yeah, yeah.
So the tie into my last questions, which one do you prefer? It sounds kind of as if you prefer it either thumbtacks or Legos.
So visually, I think I prefer thumbtacks. Visually. Like, now, if I would rather fall on Legos or thumbtacks, I don't know. I've heard, Legos are pretty tough. It doesn't seem like it, but I've heard that it hurts a lot. But visually, I prefer, thumbtacks.
Some people are doing hard candy now. Oh,
really?
Yeah, that's a new thing. They're like taking like
oh wow,
like a whole bag of hard candy and just putting it on the ring, and they're slamming their opponents on that.
Wow, I've never seen that one.
Here we go.
People are getting creative.
Yeah, creative and nutty at the same time. Like, huh? Like, here we go. Geeky, you already did your question. If a little boy or a little girl came up to you and told you after a show, I want to become a professional wrestler, what kind of advice would you give them?
Be persistent. Be the healthiest you can be. That's very important. And like, the number one thing in wrestling is listen. Listen to the people that want to help you, and that pretty much are more experienced than you. That's like the number one thing. Like, listen. Like, just have an open mind. Think for yourself, definitely, but listen. That's my biggest advice. And I think the biggest advice anyone inside wrestling can give.
It's awesome. Awesome. Geek, got any more?
Yeah, I got two more. I got what was your first match like in front of a crowd?
Oh man. Nervous? Oh my god.
Were you nervous or
I was so nervous. I don't remember my match. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't remember. It's just a blackout. Like, yeah, I just remember getting in there and leaving. Like the very last, like how it ended. I won. I know I won, and I won with a schoolboy, and it was weird. But yeah, that's all I remember. I remember I was so nervous that it's just a blackout in my mind. I thought I was going to throw up.
Aren't you glad you didn't? And you walk out of the ring. What's all this goo in the ring? You threw up. Like, just imagine that memory in your head
Yeah,
forever. Like you get backstage and you're like, "What's that on my mouth?"
I've
You
never
threw
seen
up.
it.
Yeah. I didn't do that. That wasn't me. Yeah, it was. You threw up.
That and what did your parents think when you told them you wanted to wrestle?
They didn't really find it like it was for me. So I had to convince them to let me train for months. I was I was 15, I think. Yeah, I was 15 when I decided, okay, I'm gonna, start training wrestling. Because I mean, they knew I wanted, but they didn't know there were wrestling like training schools here in Portugal. So they always thought, well, it will never happen. She loves wrestling and she wants to train wrestling, but it will never happen. And then I found a wrestling school which was very near to my place at the time, and they were scared to death, and they didn't want to let me train. Actually, I had to convince them for a long time.
I I could ultimately see why your parents would be scared because like I sent a video to Geek like last night and he saw it this morning. This guy was doing like a flippy do off the top rope. He did like the whole cross thing. He fell off, he did a flip and he landed backwards and his head hit the back of the ring. Like he was flipping over in the ring and he flipped and
It did like a shooting star press, and then he landed right on his neck.
he landed on his neck. And I was just like,
I looked at it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
like,
oh God,
yeah,
no.
that's
that's
all
the
I could
thing. Like,
mm,
yeah, that's the thing. Like, you never know. You never know what's gonna happen. Like, you train for so many years and still so much can go wrong. Like, it's a very dangerous sport. I call it sport. I call it also, like, obviously entertainment, but it's a very dangerous sport. you know like, the chance of something go wrong is so high. And for kids like me, I started when I was 15, and just telling my parents, oh, I want to do this, and so much of that can go wrong. It's like, obviously they're scared. Obviously, like, that's, yeah.
that's totally right. Oh yeah, our friend Mad Max has another question for Claudia. Geek.
How long have you been wrestling for?
How long have you been a wrestler for? So my first match was in 2012.
Mm.
I don't really consider I have been, like, wrestling since then. Like, I had, a few matches back in that year, and I would consider, like, I started wrestling 2014. Like, yeah, that's when I started doing, like, more. And yeah, like, before that I didn't really know what I was doing, you know um so yeah, like 2014, I would say that was like the start for me.
We want to thank you so much for coming on our podcast. By the
Thank
way,
you so much for staying up late for us, Claudia. Like,
it's 12:06 probably right now. So
yeah, and like,
yeah,
you know,
No
oh
problem.
wait, before last question before our mod's head explodes. Do you have any pets?
Do you have any? Sorry.
Do you have any
pets.
pets? Pets. Sorry,
It's
pets. Yeah,
yeah,
dog.
four
Oh,
four dogs.
Oh,
what kind? I have a wiener dog. I have a Dachshund.
Oh,
we have
that's
Rook the
sweet.
dog right
That's
there.
sweet. So two of them are, how do you say, makes me say, So it's like when they have like no breed.
Oh, it's just like a
Like
random
how do you
dog.
say? Yeah, like they don't belong in a certain breed, I'd say. So two of them are like that, and two like one is German Spitz,
Mm.
and the other one is a Pinscher. Is that how you say it? Pinscher?
Yeah, Doberman Pinscher. Yeah, I go old school names. I say
Yeah.
Doberman Pinscher. Like I say Doberman Pinscher, but like
Okay.
most
Yeah,
people
yeah,
wouldn't. Yeah, yeah. All
so
right.
that's how we say it in both pincher, miniature pincher.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I've been friends in high school and college used to say I'm a mini pincher because I'm little. I'm a I'm 5'1", so
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
friends, you're a mini pincher, Joe. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna bite your butt because I'm always angry. Rah, rah, rah. So, thank you so much for staying up late and hanging out with us, Claudia. You're welcome to come back on the podcast whatever you like. If you have any shows you're
Thank
about
you.
to do soon, you can plug them, plug away
And
to your shows.
and you have anywhere you could find you as well. Any
Do you
social
have any
media
shows you're
so
doing upcoming?
shows, wrestling shows.
I can't listen to you guys.
Oh,
There's
you can
something
hear it?
going on with the internet.
Oh,
Oh,
can you hear
oh,
us?
Oh,
One at a
I
time.
can hear you now.
Oh,
I
can
can
you hear
hear
me
you.
now?
Yeah.
I hear you. Can you hear me? I said, do you have any
It must be
shows
my
you're?
internet. Really.
Oh, yeah. I was asking if there's any shows that you're going to be doing soon. You could plug away. You could talk about it before we go.
Not yet. Not yet. Like, we'll eventually be doing shows here in Portugal, but I can't really speak on the dates. So, yeah, like it will be happening probably this year. Let's hope everything goes well with the COVID thing here. Yeah, I miss it very much, but I don't have any dates for now yet. But I'll post it. Like, if you go on my Instagram, I'll post it for sure. Yeah.
Does your promotion have a YouTube channel that anybody could follow your promotion?
Yeah, it's called CTW Wrestling or CTW Portugal. It shows up in like both CTW Wrestling, CTW Portugal. So we're pretty much everywhere. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, even Facebook. So
Okay.
just look for CTW Portugal.
Cool.
Yeah, we're also on independent TV, independentwrestling.tv. I think that's the
I think
link.
it's
Yeah.
IWT,
So you can check our
IWTV.
shows. IWTV. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can check our shows there and on YouTube, of course. So
Where can everyone find you exactly? So any
pretty
social
much
media.
I do have a Twitter, but I don't use it. So as I was saying earlier, I don't know how to work with Twitter. So I'm a mess in there. So pretty much what I use the most is Instagram. So at Claudia Bradstone on Instagram. I'm there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I care about is Instagram.
All right.
Yeah, me too. And if you want to, Claudia, if
Yeah.
you want to add me on my private Instagram, it's just Joe Panther the Third. If you want to add me follow me at the end of the
All
show,
right.
just Joe
Yeah.
Panther the Third.
And there's Metal Geek as well. So
All right. All right.
uh,
So
all right.
we'll talk there. Yeah. Definitely.
Later.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming
So much,
on.
Claudia. Well, as I say, you're honored to come back.
Thank you for
Have a
having
good
me.
night. Thank you, and stay safe, friend.
Stay
All
safe.
right. Have a good night, guys.
Take care.
Keep
Bye.
rocking.
Stay safe. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.
What a
That
great
was
interview.
fun.
That was a
She
fun
was
interview.
fun.
Yeah.
We didn't get into the rock discussion, but we kind of did. Not really. Dang it. Missed that conversation.
It's always next time, Joe, right?
Oh, yeah, she'll be back.
Yeah.
She'll be.
But anyway, I just wanted to talk on a little bit of a serious note. I know we mentioned it on the podcast before. Louisiana got hit really, really hard with a hurricane. Whatever you guys have, please donate to the Red Cross. Help them out. They have no power, no running water. It's really, really sad right now what's going on in Louisiana. Like you could donate to like basically the Red Cross batteries, flashlights, candles, whatever,
Clothing,
whatever
food.
is useful.
Well, not food, canned
Yeah,
food.
canned food's good. Yeah, so they'll donate to the Red Cross. Please help our brothers and sisters out in Louisiana, right? And
All right. I don't know if we'll be back about 8 o'clock because the guest hasn't like done anything. She ghosted us. Sounds horrible saying that. So
see you tomorrow.
Vega. We'll see you tomorrow for Rachel. What I get this wrong? Rachel. Riley. For Riley. Matthews.
Matthews, Joe, come on! Oh my God, Joe!
See you tomorrow, Riley Matthews. Hey. Thank you, Grandpa.